Greetings, my internet family. This your main man, Barry Tatum, coming to you live from my home office. I just want to share a brief experience with you that I had in the forms of integrity. Back in my days, my prior 16, 17 years, I was a real estate appraiser. That meant I went out to homes, did an inspection, a walkthrough generally inside the interior, measured the exterior to calculate the square footage of the home. Now, during one of my inspections, I was walking through the house. It was actually a 2-unit building over in Bronzeville. So I'm going through there and I'm checking stuff off on the first floor. I'm like, okay, it needs a little work. So I get to the second floor, and as I'm walking through, I glance up and I'm thinking to myself, that is really a clear skylight. But in essence, it turned out it was a big hole in the roof and the ceiling. It was crazy. Have you ever watched the people play poker? You know, 5-hand stud or Texas Hold'em? You know, you at some point when they call you on something, you gotta have a poker face and not really show your discouragement with your hand. So at that moment, man, I had to pull the poker face right out. I had to pretend that I was not shocked that the skylight that I perceived did not exist. It was actually a big hole in the ceiling and the roof. And then I went downstairs, and after I completed the inspection, I went through, did the complete inspection. I didn't throw my hands up and say, oh man, you guys are crazy, and walk out of there and storm out of there and say, you need to get that crap fixed. No, I just calmly completed the inspection. When I was finished, went to the car, called the bank and told them, hey man, they got like a 3-foot hole in the ceiling and in the roof. Do you want me to complete this report subject to them making the repairs? And that was just a way of still completing a report, but the value would be determined based on them completing and getting that roof and ceiling repaired to a point where it was a livable arrangement for the second floor unit. And I'm telling you all this because one of the main reasons I got into real estate appraisal, I wanted to help people. But the thing I saw most was the greed of the industry. The mortgage and loan originators, the banks, they were all pushing you to step outside the realm of what you're supposed to do. They want you to push the value a little bit higher so their deal could work. They wanted you to ignore the things that were going on in the neighborhood. Well, see, as the real estate appraiser, my job was to report what I saw. And it took some time and skill to develop that ability to report what I saw without drawing a conclusion. That took some time and skill and a lot of learning. You know, I would stay up at night reading additional materials and learning different techniques and just basically building my craft. Since then, I've decided that really isn't serving me any longer. Don't get me wrong, I had a beautiful career. I did over 7,000 appraisals. I don't know, 7,500. I don't know. It was a whole bunch of real estate appraisal reports that I completed. But during that time span, I did not have any major situations with my appraisals outside of bankers and originators coming back to me telling me that I need to raise the value so their deal could work. But there was a method that we had to use called the Uniform Standards of Appraisal Practice. outside of that, I was not stepping outside of that realm, because that could lead to you getting your license revoked. And also, as I've learned, some of them appraisers went to jail for them just being, it was just a flagrant disregard for actually the laws and the bylaws of USPAP. There has to be a certain amount of integrity in whatever you do. You can't just do as you please, treat people horribly, and expect for there not to be any repercussions. So as I entered into the world of internet marketing and home-based business, although I had been home-based business for 16 years as real estate appraiser, this was a new genre for me, where it's more or less team building, communicating, and connecting with people. So my desire is to assist people, help them get out of the mindsets, help dispel some myths that they may have about the industry, as well as to encourage others to develop yourself. One of the greatest things that I discovered about this industry is that it's all about self-development. I know, you've probably been told to go out and talk to as many people as you want to, as you could find. If they're breathing, tell them about your business. Well, I tried that. I tried that initially. They were like, go out and just tell everybody. I'm telling people, and it was an epic fail. You just telling someone about how great your business is not going to move them. You got to explain to them why you're in the business. Also, you have to be able to identify with the person and find out what their why is, what moves them, what motivates them. You see, you must appeal to their emotion. Emotions is what drives decisions. That's why Apple is such a great marketing company, because they appeal to the people's why. They explain to you why we do it, how we do it, and what our products are. On the other hand, all the other companies, this is the way they market. They tell you what they have, how they built it, and then they ask you to buy their product without appealing to your emotion or your why. What is your why? The reason that I am involved in internet business, the reason that I am involved in Empower Network is because I want to help massive amounts of people to get outside of that myth, that old go to school, get a good education, get a good job myth. I went down that route. I have a college degree. Don't get me wrong, it was a great experience. I had a lot of fun down at the U of I in Champaign. But although it got me a comfortable living, it did not get me to my wealthy place. Do you realize that most of the millionaires dropped out of college because they saw something wrong with that format, that formal education format that was telling them to get a job? Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, they're like, hey, second year, first year, they're like, I'm gone, I'm done. But they're some of the wealthiest people in the world. And I want to assist you in changing your mindset and reaching your fullest potential. Not watching the clock. See what, oh man, we'll be able to clock out another 15 minutes. Man, what can I do for 15 minutes? I guess I'll rearrange the papers on my desk. No. And self-business, being an entrepreneur, means that you have to produce. You have to go out there and create something. You have to go out there and motivate and inspire someone to change their attitudes, to change their habits. I know that's a dirty word to some people, that whole thing about change. Listen, pull your coattail. The only constant in life is change. So if you're not changing, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying. So I want you to live Live, 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 live life to the fullest. Live life to the fullest. Have fun. But it doesn't have to be all about entertainment. You see, we live in an entertainment society where people spend hours and hours playing video games, watching reality shows, while ignoring exercise and good eating habits. So is it safe to assume that, we want to become a society of fat idiots? Nah. Get up, get out, and do something. Do something different. Read a book for a change. Go for a nice walk. Ride a bike for a change. Do something different. Build yourself up. I'm going to get down up off my pedestal for the time being. But I tell you what, this is your main man, Barry Tatum. I'm going to say peace for now. Blessings as always. I'm going to see you on the next video. Next week I'm going to shoot some videos. I'm going to be out on a big convention out in Denver. Let you guys see what the lifestyle is like, once you become an entrepreneur. You become an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur for freedom. Not to be chained down and bogged down to your desk or your business. You want to do things that are fun. So you stay inspired. You stay motivated. See you in the next video.